Hello everyone, welcome to another video for the One Piece trading card game. In this video, we'll be reviewing another leader from the first set, Romance Dawn, Blue Purple Kaido. I hope you enjoy. Kaido is a strike attribute, the Four Emperors and Animal Kingdom pirate traits leader. He is blue and purple, which means he will start with 4 life. He has an ability that says Dawn X1, your turn. Once per turn, when one of your opponent's characters is KO'd, you may add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Kaido is very basic. His ability might seem more unique, but it's pretty easy to explain. If he has 1 Dawn and it's your turn and an enemy character dies, you ramp 1. It has a lot of restrictions, but it's a strong effect, and that makes Kaido so strong. I think both of the blue-purple leaders are generally the strongest, even though they're not seeing as much play as a Zoro or a Law or a Eustace. I do think that Kaido and the blue-purple crocodile, which will be in the next video, are extremely strong, and I think in the future, maybe they're missing 1 or 2 cards. I know there's a really good card in the promo packs. I think maybe once we get those promo packs, these decks will start shining and do a lot better than they are now, which I think they're already capable of doing pretty well. Next is a deck list that I think will be fairly competitive for Blue Purple Kaido. This deck has 3 blue starter deck Law, 3 starter deck Who's Who, 3 set Jack, 2 set Sasaki, 4 starter deck Jukul Mihawk, 4 set Boa Hancock, 4 purple set X-Drake, 4 starter deck Queen, 2 starter deck King, 2 set 1 King, 3 starter deck Kaido, 3 set Jukul Mihawk, 2 set Kaidos, 4 Love Beam, 4 Overheat, and 3 Onigashima. We have some pretty good early game. The Law and the Who's Who are some nice protection early. Law is a good blocker. Who's Who is some quick removal. Jack is here as some discard later. We don't plan on playing him too much, but he is a good card I don't think you can cut out. The Sasaki is here just to be a 2K. You could play any other 2K you wanted, but I thought Sasaki generally was a bit better in this list, so we're going with the Sasaki. The Jukul Mihawks are very good because we are going to have a lot of dead cards in our hand. Late game Who's Who isn't great. Onigashima isn't great past our first copy. A lot of this deck doesn't counter. We want to be able to filter cards out. Same thing with Boa Hancock, some added card draw. I think this is one of the better blue cards in the game, and you kind of have to play it at 4 in any blue deck. Going to our 5 drops, the set X-Drake is a really good 2K. I don't think you can play purple without this card. It's just so strong. It's a 2K, it's a good body, it's some discard, and it's just super strong. The starter deck Queen is an extremely good blocker. It blocks most bodies, blocks leaders. It's some card draw. Draw 2, discard 1 can help us get rid of our extra Onigashimas. That's really the main thing. You want to dig enough to find 1 Onigashima, but then you want to have the ability to get rid of the others in case you draw them. And that's kind of what the Mihawk and the Queen do. And to an extent, Sasaki, you can use it to ramp 1, but mainly the Queen and the Mihawk are going to give you that ability. We have a 2-2 split on the Kings. This is because going into a game 1 of 3, you really don't know what your opponent's going to be playing. If it's more of an aggro deck, a red, you want the 7-mana King, and in games 2 and 3, you'll board out the 6-mana King for the 7, and kind of vice versa. If you're playing against, say, Don Quixote, 7-mana King really doesn't do anything. You need that 6-mana King to be able to kill the 1/4 drop. I know I said the 9-mana Kaido from the starter deck isn't amazing, but if there's any deck to play it, this is the deck to play it. Because we can ramp out of its deficit so easily, I think it's perfect. It's a big body, it's a good threat. This card definitely fits in this deck, and it's a great include. The 9 mana Mihawk from the set is probably the best card in the game. Close to Eustace Captain Kid, maybe. I think those two are in contention for the best card, but in general, raw power, this card is just so strong. Being able to put a character of cost 7 or less on the bottom of its owner's deck, there's not much that can survive it, even though this deck plays 3 of the cards that can survive it, including himself. But he's a really good body for a decent cost with a super strong ability. Only 2 of the 10 mana Kaido. This is an instant board wipe for this deck, and I think you want to dig to find them. Generally, after playing this card, you're going to win the next turn or die the same turn you play it. There's not really much to say about it. If you can play this and then live to your next turn, you're in an extremely good spot to win the game. Going to the events, the 4 Love Beam and the 4 Overheat. Love Beam is just the best blue event, and Overheat is pretty good versus aggro. The reason why we're on these events and none of the purple events is because the purple events just don't really cut it. They don't have a good enough counter to beat these 2 out, and I think blue events are just superior counter-wise. We're not on any actual events, though, because they're a bit too slow. It'd be better off for us to just play characters than to play purple events. So that's why we're only on these 2 counters. And then finally, 3 Onigashima. This is just the best purple card. Sadly, Blue Purple Crocodile cannot play it because he is not an Animal Kingdom's pirate. However, he is a Brokeworks card, so he gets a bit of extra synergies with some of those. But we'll talk about those when we get to Blue Purple Crocodile. In general, Onigashima just gives you free Dawn every turn. You use a Dawn minus ability. This kind of negates it. It helps us ramp back from our 9 mana Kaido and our 10 mana Kaido to be able to play threats again. This card really is just the key to purple, I feel. Any big purple deck like this one. Being able to get that free Dawn every turn. Being able to play this on turn 2, going first or second. This card just really brings home the theme that purple wants to go big, and it really helps against purple's restriction of Dawn minus effects. Finally, I would just like to say thank you for watching. I know we have 1 video left for the first set, but I will say this now. I probably will say it in the next video as well. This has definitely been a journey going through all of these leaders, and I can't wait to see what's coming in the next set. We'll probably take a break after Crocodile. I have Shanks and Yuta built, but after those 2, I don't think we'll have everything in the second set for maybe a month. So we'll see what I decide to post. I don't know if it's going to be One Piece or it's going to be a different game, but you know, I'll probably think of something that'll hold you guys over until we get to the second set. But with that said, I'll see you all in the next video, and I hope you all have a good day. Goodbye.